Welcome everyone to Formula Worldwide Leagues presents Friday Night Lights. If you think the voice sounds different, it's because it is. I am your host, JimCab, league founder, and old man who yells at clouds. Welcome to round 10 of the 11th season of Friday Night Lights for FWL, and we've got quite a bit of a championship battle going on with 3 races left in the season. We've got Spain here today with what looks to be at least sunny qualifying. Don't know if I can get any news reports on what the weather is set to be like for the race. But it's looking nice and clear right now. Sorry. Apologies, because sometimes I'll get distracted by things going on. That's what happens when you have to do comms and organize the lobby to try to get some good attendance here as we do today. A grid of 18. We are missing one very, very key contender in the driver standing, and that is the Ferrari driver of Nick Arrow, aka Patrick Duffy. A no-show tonight, unfortunately. So the Ferrari team has had to go with a backup driver in Nate, who drives in our... OG Freed just picked up a 5-place grid penalty, getting collected with Evaz, who sets the fastest lap of 1:12.322 after Plube, Spicy, and TTV put up 1:12s themselves. Foe dropped out of his team principal role for Team Haas, is back in Team Haas as a reserve today, and he put up a 1:13.26. But maybe we should focus somewhere else. Let's see. Arsenault is on a hot lap. I think he just started it. He is a new member of the Williams team as a full-time driver. He did I believe a race, maybe 2, as a reserve, but he is now our full-time driver for Team Williams. And this gentleman is rapid. He comes from our sister league, Formula whatever, and I know he's no slouch, so it'll be really interesting to see what he can put up today in the Circuit de Catalunya. I don't know, I didn't prepare, so I don't know any of the corner names or any of that shit. I know he's in Sector 3 now. And actually, you know what? I have the telemetry right in front of me, so maybe I should take a look and see. It's not too bad. First and second sector was pretty decent. This is the new section of the track without the chicane. Down the front straight. And he posts a 1:12.514. Good enough for P4 right now. Ahead of Spicy Noogies, who was the first person to set a hot lap in the McLaren. 1:12.660. But Evaz still currently sits with the fastest lap. Let's move over to J-Joe. J-Joe, or how about just Jojo? Ooh, he is not on a hot lap because he's invalidated. Hopefully he's realizing that. I hit the wrong button there, so apologies. Let's turn this on. Yeah, he's burned all his battery. He must be building it back up. But he's out of fuel too, I think, so that's not going to do him any good. Oh, and he goes sideways and into the wall. Oof. I don't know if he has any damage. You're in neutral, pal. Oh, is he high-centered? Oh, he's... There we go. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. Kodak Films in the kick today. He is a Red Bull full-time driver, but he was a last-minute addition, so there was a bit of a mix-up, and that's why I ask everybody to please do the check-ins so I can do a better job, or the race directors who are supposed to be doing this can do a better job of this, because trying to gather lobbies just makes my heart explode. Let's follow along with Heat Gang. He just set a purple sector 2. He hasn't set a lap time yet, but this could be a nice lap to put him up top there. I don't know where he's at for sure. Let's see here. DRS wings open. Oh, interesting. Only good for 11th. 117.257. He must have messed something up there. That's bizarre. Because his first sector was good. Second sector was 3 seconds off what the normal pace is. And maybe the third sector. Yeah, he must have had some problems in the first sector there. So let's go see Nate here, also in the Ferrari, right where the spot where his teammate J-Jo lost it. Nate is a full-time driver for Ferrari in our Saturday NEA Division 2. Primarily for European folks, but because attendance sucks, we also have some North American drivers who join along. Let's see what Nate can pull out for Team Ferrari here today. And he's got a 114.171, which is good for P12. Oh, Maverick is in the Red Bull today, teamed up with Sketchy Bull, who, by the way, has put up a pole time of 112.061. Spicy Noogies actually did a second lap, and he did 112.284, and that pushes Evazi Skies to P3. And meanwhile, Maverick is... Oh, just invalidated that lap. Unfortunate. No, Heat Gang is done. He's out of fuel. Nate has invalidated this lap, but I think he's coming in, unless he's doing a cool down lap. OG Freed is now coming into the pits. He says him a 113.32. Good enough for P11 currently. Curtis Chaos. Let's take a look and see what Curtis is up to here. In the bright green and black livery of the Kick Sauber. Rumor is next year they'll be dropping the stake sponsorship because of all the gambling challenges it presents for countries where they don't permit gambling advertising. So I don't think that's going to be much of a big change for the team in the real world, because I mean everything looks like it's Kick anyway, unless this is maybe... Oh, you know, that's why, because the game won't allow the gambling there, so we don't see the stake in there. I don't think we see the stake in there. I think in the game it's just Kick Sauber. I'm just rambling. I don't know what's going on here. Curtis is in P10 currently, setting a 112.930, and that's amazing. From 10th is less than 1 second separating all of them, so that's really, really good. From there, 11th onwards, the times drop off kind of terribly, and Curtis can improve his time up to a 112.517 with 7 minutes left to go in the qualifying session. That pushes him up to P8, right behind Arsenal by 3,000 of a second. That's what separates and Curtis Chaos in the Kick Sauber. Right behind Curtis is North, who just came out of the pits He's going to try to set up another lap to best what he's got right now at 1:12.467. Good enough for P6 behind Plube. The two of them are separated by 0.05 of a second. And Plube just improves to P2, reserving for Team Mercedes. Next to Gifted, who currently sits in P5. So our top 10 goes like this. Sketchy Bull with a 1:12.0. Plube with a 1:12.223. Spicy with a 1:12.284. Vazzy Skies with a 1:12.322. We the North cannot improve his time. So he stays behind Gifted, who's a 1:12.324. And then Arsenault, Curtis, TTV, reserving for his own team in Aston Martin. A 1:12.555s. Nice score. And then Foe actually improving his time to a 1:12.897, which is good enough for P10. So J-Joe in the Ferrari has not set a time. He went out, he had an issue, came back in. Kodak is out, has not set a time, but he is out there now, although this lap is invalidated. And it's not an out lap, so hopefully he's got enough. Ooh, who's that McLaren? We the North, maybe? Spicy Noogies? No, Spicy Noogies is in the pit, so that's definitely We the North. Maverick is out there as well in the Red Bull. He has also not set a time. And I'm just noticing that Meowslayer has not set a time. We've just passed the 5-minute mark. There is less than 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. And we still have 4 racers who have yet to set a time. And I suspect Meowslayer is not going to set one, or he's waiting till the very last minute. Kodak has gone back into the pits and yet again has not set a time. Ooh, Maverick almost invalidates that. Keeps it together, pushes himself to P10 with a 1:12.562. Right behind T. And what is going on with We the North? No, that's Spicy Noogies now. The McLarens are having a hell of a time today. So, Foe is still out there. He just got knocked down to P11. And let's see if he can actually reclaim that with just under 4 minutes left. I'm wondering if he fueled... Oh, it looks like he's got some damage. Does he have damage? No, he is not reporting any damage. We the North, on the other hand, did have some damage, but he's now in the pits, and that's all fixed up. Kodak Films has retired from the session without posting a time. So Kodak, at this point, will be starting P17. But we'll ride along with Foe. Oh, nice lap. 1:12.336. That puts him up to P6, pushing Maverick out of the top 10. So we're going to go down to Nate James in the Ferrari. He's currently sitting P14 with a time of 1:14.171. And I believe he is on a hot lap right now. Although it looks like he's recharging. So he may have maybe overfueled a little bit and he's gearing up for this. I'm not sure. Or maybe he's just not deploying enough. Now Gifted has retired. Nate has improved his time. Moves up to 1:13.723, now in P13. That's not a bad time to put up, given that you're typically a Div 2 driver. And I don't think Nate has been in FNL yet this season, so not a terrible showing. Gifted, as I said, has retired, and he currently sits P5. So we have a Williams off to the side there. Maybe we'll go check out OG Freed in the V-Carb. Maybe picking up a little bit of tow from the Mercedes there, or sorry, the McLaren there. Currently sitting P12 with the 113.132. Let's see if he can improve this. He's looking pretty... Oh, no, he's now pit. He's going to pit. Nape's probably going to pit as well. Heat Gang currently sitting in P15 with a 117.257. And he improves that to a 112.425. Good enough for P7. And with a minute left to go in qualifying, I see Sketchy Ivaz, who now holds provisional pole of 112.029. Sketchy Bull. So we don't... Foe is retired, currently in P7. Gifted has now been dropped to P6. He is out there on a hot lap. TTB is on a hot lap, but it looks like he has burned it. And Plube is out there. And he is... All three of these guys... Well, maybe not TTB, actually. But Plube and Spicy Nuggets are going to see if they can try to steal this pole. I got to hand it to Avazi's guys here. 112.029. Is he going to actually pull off a pole today? I don't remember the last time Avazi's guys captured a pole. His best quali, though, was P2. And he's still out there doing another lap. Quali time has ended. Plube is about to cross the line. And he puts up a 112.066. 5 thousandths of a second slower than Sketchy Bull, who is currently out there. And so is Ivaz. Ivaz just breaks the 111.969. So now we're going to be watching for Sketchy Bull. We're going to take a quick look. Meow Slayer, 111.908. Sketchy, 111.715. Things are going crazy here. Everything's gone nuts. I don't think Heat Gang's doing anything here. And Maverick has invalidated this. J-Joe in the Ferrari. He is pitting, and he will not set a time. That's, that's amazing. Sketchy Bull in the last moments of the session. 111.715, right after Meow Slayer had knocked out Evaz's guys, who set up an 11.908. And then Evaz's 969. Plube ends up in 4th with a 112.066. We the North moved up to 5th, with TTB finishing in 6th and Spicy Noogies in 7th. Gifted, after retiring early, gets dropped all the way to P8th. Curtis Chaos, I believe, was staying at P9. Foe, P10, has returned to his old team. So that's some excellent stuff we saw from the qualifying. All right, so yeah, here we go. Sketchy, Meow Slayer, Evaz, Plube, We the North, TTV, Spicy Noogies, Gifted, Curtis Chaos, Foe, Arsenal, Heat Gang, Maverick, for OG Freed, Nate, 40-pound Lobster, and then we have J-Joe and Kodak Films, who did not set a time. And I believe one of these, yeah, OG Freed is going to have a 5-place grid penalty, so he will be dropped to the very end. So, while we're doing the formation lap, we'll follow along here. There's our tire strategy, softs to mediums around lap 13-14. or a medium to hard, I guess. It went away too quickly. So let's take a look at the standings, shall we? Right now, unfortunately, Sweat Randall was unable to race today because of the hurricane situation. No power where he's at. Hopefully he's keeping safe and it's not impacting him too negatively, aside from missing out a race, because he is currently leading in the championship. He took over the championship lead last week in Singapore. He now sits atop of the driver's table with 124 points. Sketchy Bull, as you see here, in pole position, dropped to second place with 112 points. So he's got 12 points to make up here. He will regain his championship lead, so long as he finishes no worse than third place today. If he finishes fourth, he'll be tied, unless he gets the fastest lap, at which point then he would also get the extra point, and then therefore be in first place again. But that's not an easy feat with the amount of drivers we have here. The grid is now forming up. The last two Ferraris are filling in. This is some lovely backwards. Okay, the grid's all collected. We got no lights on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights are off, and away we go. And Sketchy gets a pretty good start, moves away from Meowslayer right away. We the North has overtaken Evazi Skies. And do we have anything going on in the back of the grid? No, everything seems to be nice and tidy into turn one. There is some action in the back here. Looks like OG freed, and we've got some damage. There's busted up wings. It looks like that collected up Curtis Chaos. Maverick is now all the way all the way to the back of the grid, with also a busted wing. And Curtis Chaos, let's see what's going on with Curtis Chaos. He also has front wing damage, so not a great start for Kick Sauber. Kodak, I think Kodak's on hard. No, Kodak's got some damage there as well. So basically have damage from the 4 cars at the back of the field, it looks like. And OG Freed is trying to overtake J-Joe, who also has front wing damage. How many people got collected in that incident? And they're bouncing wheels in the back here. Things are kind of nuts. Let's see. Sketchy Bulls now, of course, finish the first lap. How many of these guys are going to go in? I'm shocked. Sauber goes wide. Curtis Chaos is not having any of this. He is driving into the pits. He's going to get himself a new front wing and a fresh set of, I'm going to guess he's going to go with hard tires. Maverick is... Maverick's out ahead. Maverick did not pit. So fresh set of softs and a new front wing for Curtis Chaos, who is not having a great season at all. Curtis is currently sitting in 6th place with 51 points. So this is going to be a tough one to recover from and get some points. But it's a long race, 33 laps. We're only on lap 2. We're following him along with Meowslayer, who is... And look, we got tire strategies here. Mediums to hards, or mediums, hards. Who would do that? Medium, hard. I guess, I don't know. Sketchy continues. Oh, look at that. TTV sets a 115, 151. And look at this. Down the front straight, 4 cars fighting for P2 into turn 1. Sketchy and Meowslayer have broken away from this pack here, and Gifted has moved himself all the way up into 3rd place. Now, J-Joe has retired in the pits. Maverick just pit. to get himself a new front wing and fresh medium tires. Let's see as he drives by here. Yes, fresh medium tires. So Maverick is now officially the last of the running order. And of course, the Ferrari gets pushed out, even though it's retired. So that's ridiculous. Sorry about that, Maverick. Let's go back to the front of the field here. Meow Slayer still staying within that DRS detection. Half a second behind Sketchy. Coming up to lap 4 now. And with that DRS wing open, he closes that gap. Plube has just set the fastest lap in the Mercedes. Here we go into turn 1. Meow Slayer is going to be a contender if he were to be racing full time. I have no doubt about that. And Kodak Films is now retired from the pits, or front. Yeah, he's retired from the race in the pits. So we'll probably see the game spit him back out. Now that means Curtis is going to inherit 15th place, and that means he just set a fastest lap, 1:14.732. Meow Slayer, meanwhile, has fallen back a little bit, but still within that DRS detection. He just had that little that DRS zone there at the beginning of sector, or in the middle of sector, or sorry, at the end of sector 2, I should say. Of course, we have another retired car sent out onto the track, because why not? Why wouldn't we do that? So who's the big winners here today so far at the beginning of the race as we start lap 5? Gifted's moved up 5 positions into 3rd place. Spicy's up 2. Heat Gang's up 4. Nate is up 3 positions. OG Freed has just picked up a penalty. And OG Freed actually picked up 5 positions. The biggest losers so far today are TTV, who dropped down to P12. I don't know what happened to TTV there. He was up. He must have got tangled up in some business there. And Curtis Chaos, who's dropped down to P15, 6 positions. Does appear that Meow Slayer is starting to fade from Sketchy, but he still has that. He's got that DRS, the wing was open, managed to close that. It didn't really close the gap that much. 8/10 behind him. We got another detection zone coming around the corner here. Can he hold on as he pushes through this final turn? I think he didn't get it. Yes, he did. But his wing is not open. I heard the beep. His wing is not open. And we have an Aston. I think that was TTV, but he seems to be fine. Let's see if we can get that broadcast view to see if there's any problems with this front wing. Appears to be okay. And sitting in P12. There's another yellow sector, and I think that has to do with the... Oh, Sketchy Bull has dropped to 5th place. I was paying attention to other people. TTV is now DNF'd. I don't know what happened to him. Let's see if we can catch with Curtis. Is Curtis? No, he's a bit too far. He'll probably go there. So I don't know what happened to Sketchy, but Sketchy just dropped to 5th place. And Meow Slayer is now in 1st place with Gifted 2.6 seconds behind. I don't know if they came together or if Sketchy lost it. Sketchy's now moved back up into 5th place as he overtakes We the North. And we have some action that I seem to have missed out on lap 2. Or lap 7, I should say. Virtual safety car. What caused that? Curtis is now pitting, taking advantage of that safety car. He's probably going to go on hards and go the distance. That is my guess. He'll get kind of a, not a free pit stop, but a reduced pit stop. He shouldn't lose. Well, he might lose that. No. Yes, he did lose that position. Maverick was stayed out. But virtual safety car is over. Curtis is out of the pits. He is on fresh hards. And currently sitting in P15. So, Meow Slayer takes over the lead of the race at lap 7. And now Gifted sits in P2. Vazi's Sky's in P3, who is about to get swallowed up by what is going on here. Holy smokes. We were looking with Spicy Noogies looking to eye up the pass on the inside of turn 1, and then all of a sudden, Sketchy Bull comes in the picture, almost takes over Evazi Skies. Instead, he moves up into P4, and Spicy is now sitting here in P5, with the Evazi Skies still sitting in P3. So from P4 to P7, we've got a bit of a DRS train because we've got Evazi's leading in here, but he doesn't have DRS. Sketchy Bull is in 4th place, right behind him. Spicy Noogie's right behind him. Arsenal in the Williams right behind him. We the North in the McLaren right behind him. Everybody within DRS detection except for Evaz, of course. And at the front, Gifted is holding firm. Or sorry, I should say Meow Slayer is holding firm to a 2.5 second lead over Gifted. So let's see what this front straight brings. What kind of action we're going to see here. 5 cars fighting for P3 on the front straight. There goes Sketchy, takes it over. So does Spicy Noogies. And Evaz goes from 3rd to 5th place in one corner. And they all do it nice and cleanly. Arsenal and We the North still sitting back there in 6th and 7th place. And Spicy is going to try to fight Sketchy and not let him get away with this. He wants to hold on to that. He wants to take back that 3rd place position, even though he hasn't had it yet. Evaz wants that 3rd place position back, but he's now got to get through Spicy first. And Gifted has shaved a bit of that lead. Not a ton. Let's see if Sketchy can improve on this. Sketchy's got a 2.5 second gap between him and Gifted in 2nd place. And as it stands right now, Sketchy would take over the championship lead once again. So here we go, lap 10 with Meow Slayer reserving for Alpine. Sitting in P1, we have Caution in Sector 1. It looks like the Mercedes of Ploob, probably. But he gets back at it. Ploob has now dropped 9 positions down to 13th place after hosting a great qualifying session there. And then we've got Curtis still sitting in P15. But he is only 9 seconds behind Maverick. Oh, did somebody just go off the course back there? Or did my eyes deceive me? I don't know. I also see my name popping up on the game indicating that I'm not in a party anymore. Yes, I am not in a party anymore. I don't know what happened there, but that's where we're at. So here we go again. Sketchy is now leading this DRX train of 5 vehicles with Spicy, Evaz, Arsenal, and We the North clinging close to each other and taking advantage of that DRS. But is Spicy going to be able to use the DRS on this very long front straight? He doesn't have a good exit enough to bring him in, but he is closing that gap super fast. Sketchy moves to the inside. So Spicy takes him from the outside and manages to cover him off. So he now drops down to 14th place. excellent pass by Spicy Noogies there. And he's on his original medium tire set of medium tires. So now I want to stick with this because this is where the action's going to be. Sketchy is like half a second behind Spicy, but I am taking note of the fact that Gifted has now closed the gap to Meowslayer to 1.7 seconds. So we may have to switch to the lead cars and see if we have some action appear here. But meanwhile, we're going to stick with Spicy. Looking at this rear view camera, as we know, Sketchy's got wide open DRS and takes the inside, reclaims third place easily where he lost it in the previous lap. Both vehicles looking a little squirrely, and ooh, Spicy has some massive understeer, goes a bit wide, but manages to recollect himself to stay right in the back of Sketchy Bull's gearbox. Vazzy Sky is currently sitting in P5 after sitting in P3 for most of the opening laps, especially after Sketchy self-immolated or something there. He had an excellent start to the race and was leading for several laps, and then but lap 7 we don't know what happened because we were following stuff in the back of the pack. And now we've got Spicy and Sketchy trading off P3 lap after lap after lap. Now I see Heat Gang has just pit and he is now in last place. Spicy's got that DRS wing wide open, goes to the inside of Sketchy. Sketchy does have a little bit of movement to try to cover him off, but just makes it an easy pass there. And it's really interesting that these two can maintain this trade-off lap after lap, and yet 5th, 6th, and 7th have stayed the same. They haven't managed to make any moves there. However, Wheat the North has pit from 7th place, and he's about to get... No, I think he has maintained his P7. Impressive. But Nate has now moved up to P8 in the Ferrari as we continue to follow along with Spicy Noogie. Spicy hasn't closed the gap to Gifted that much, but Gifted certainly has. Gifted's just about 1 minute away from being able to get that DRS detection. See if we're going to switch here. We're going to see, can he make it happen here? Oof, no, I don't think. No, he just missed out. And who's that behind him? I think that's Heat Gang. Heat Gang's trying to unlap himself. This is interesting. Heat Gang's trying to unlap himself, and now he's put himself in between Meowslayer and Gifted. And Gifted's actually closed the gap. Well, he had closed the gap to under a second. And I think Heat Gang's going to try to unlap himself entirely. That's impressive. Heat Gang in the Aston Martin, currently sitting in last, has now unlapped himself. And I believe Meowslayer is going to be pitting soon, so Heat Gang will no longer be under real threat anymore. But Meowslayer does actually get the benefit of DRS because he's so close behind Heat Gang. But I gotta imagine those tires are like just dying at this point. You know, I should be looking at the telemetry to see what's going on here. Now, is Heat Gang, or sorry, Meowslayer, Meowslayer is not pitting this lap. Gifted is, though. Is this the undercut? Heat Gang sets a fastest lap, 1:14.1. Gifted pits from 2nd place. Sketchy takes over. Gifted stays in 3rd as Ivaz pits. Spicy actually drops to 5th place because he pit earlier. I guess that was an earlier undercut. And Meowslayer's still out there in the lead by 3.5 seconds over Sketchy Bull. And Gifted gets back on circuit in third place, 17 seconds behind second place. Now, that's about 20 seconds. The undercut might work for Gifted here, because we know both Meowslayer, and Sketchy has now picked up a 3-second penalty. That is going to hurt him in the long run here. We'll see how that plays out. We're on lap 15 of 33. We're almost halfway through this already. Meowslayer's tires are reporting 52% wear. That's an approximation, and Meowslayer has now pit, and yet, yeah, and so has Sketchy. So, where does Gifted come out of this? He's just come into Sector 3. Both Meowslayer and Sketchy have finished their pits. No, they haven't, sorry. They have not. Gifted is coming around, and Gifted will, the undercut has worked. Gifted is going to take over first place. Oh, no, he's not. Meowslayer, I'm mistaken. Gifted has not, the undercut has not worked. The undercut worked for Spicy Noogies, though, because he is ahead of Sketchy, and he's got a gap of about 1.6, 1.7 seconds. Gifted is only 0.3 of a second behind Meowslayer, who is on, let's see here, very cold, very new, hard tires. So Gifted has a very good chance of taking over the lead here, with 2 DRS detection zones coming up ahead of him. Here's this first one. It's a bit of a short one. I don't think he's going to be able to manage this. Just going to get him a little bit closer, setting him up nicely for the final sector, and onto the front straight with this, the second DRS detection. There's only 2 in Spain. This should be an easy pass for P1, as long as he can keep it together. Down the inside, into turn 1. Gifted takes over first place. So we may see here another repeat of what we had with Sketchy and Spicy, but with Gifted and Meowslayer, because Gifted is currently in first place. Starting lap 18 here momentarily, Meowslayer is going to have DRS. That wing's going to go wide open, and let's see this overhead view. It doesn't seem like he's able to close the gap a little bit. We, the North, just picked up a 3-second penalty. So that's interesting. I wonder if Gifted must have been deploying. Gifted's at 76% battery. I mean, it burns fast. Whoa, what happened there? OG Freed has DNF'd. OG Freed went into the pits and retired, so I don't think we'll see anything out of that unless, you know, his ghost goes back out on the track like it always does, because the game is fucking stupid. Of course it's going to go back out on the track, but it's not going to cause any problems, I don't think. Well, actually, there's quite a few cars coming here. The leaders are... Oh, interesting. OG Freed car just stops in pit lane. Well, that's interesting. Okay, let's get back to it here. Meowslayer has taken over the lead. Totally not paying attention. Gift is like, I don't know if I don't want to give that up that quickly. Gift takes it back right away. Doesn't even need to wait for DRS to be able to take that back. Gets himself back in the lead, but you know what's been going on here is they've been fighting themselves a little bit. And Sketchy and Spicy are now joining the DRS train at the very front of this pack. You know, this field is not terribly spread out. Curtis Chaos, by the way, moving himself all the way up to P10. Excellent work, my friend. Like to see him do a bit better. Plube sitting in P9 now. And Foe in P8. Whoa, I saw a little bit of a wiggle there from Gifted. But now, of course, again, Meowslayer. What's going on with Meowslayer? Okay, I was going to say, he's... I didn't think he had his wing open, but he did. So now he's taken over Gifted again. Into turn one. Goes a little squirrely there. And let's see, Gifted is not close enough to take that back like he did the last lap. So lap 20, Meowslayer takes over the lead into turn one and keeps it this time. But Sketchy is now right behind Gifted, and Spicy is right behind. So again, we got a 4-car DRS train. Any one of these guys can win this race. We have 13 laps to go. Let's take a look at our penalties. 3 seconds from each for Sketchy Bull, We the North, and Plube. So that's going to be costly for Sketchy Bull. He needs to find a way to break out of this train. Mav now has picked up 3 seconds for track limits as well. Oh, Gifted goes a little wide. Here is this, the DRS train is as tight as it's ever been in this race, and Gifted goes for the lead, but Sketchy goes for the lead, and they go into turn one. Meowslayer's now into third place. Ploop's got another 3-second penalty. So Spicy still sits there in fourth place in the McLaren, but Meowslayer is now down to... No, back up to second place, I should say. Gifted is fighting it. Gifted is really fighting it. Oh! Oh! Spicy gets all out of sorts. I don't think he gets any damage, but he does lose a position to Arsenault and moves him down to 5th place. That was a costly mistake from Spicy. Meanwhile, we're just going to go take a quick look at Evaz here. Oh, what's going on up front here? Something happening there. Sketchy is now in first place. Gifted in second. Meowslayer in third. Gifted nowhere near close enough to... Or is he? No, he's not. And I don't know if he had DRS or not, but he must have had DRS. Lap 22 of 33. Sketchy in the lead. Gifted in second in the Mercedes, and then Meowslayer reserving for Team Alpine in third place. Led this race for a number of laps, even through his pit stop, but then lost the lead battling with Gifted. Gained it, lost it, gained it, and then Sketchy decided to get back into this thing and move himself into first place. So Sketchy's now got to build a gap of 3 seconds in order to maintain that first place over the next 11 laps, 10 laps, 11 laps. I mean, it's starting to settle in a little bit here. There's a bit more space between these three now. They're all still within DRS detection. It seems like, okay. I don't know, the game's playing tricks on me. I keep thinking I see these cars not activate their DRS, and it confuses me, so. Now, ooh, Plube again. Plube has now picked up 9 seconds of penalties. Plube is most definitely going to lose out his points if he doesn't keep this clean from here on in. Now, Meowslayer's closed up the gap between him and Gifted, it appears, has just missed out on getting DRS. It's not going to hurt him here, and he looks like he's gummed back in, but he's got to hold on to that, and he's just, yeah, he's already faded out of DRS detection, and they're not even at the second to last turn. There is a considerable gap now that's been opened up between the top 3 drivers, and 5th and 6th, or 4th and 5th, I should say. Arsenault is about 5 seconds behind. Oh, Gifted does not have DRS, but he is going to hold on to second place despite Meowslayer having DRS. And Sketchy is now starting to pull away. If he can maintain this 1 second and Gifted and Meowslayer fight it out, then I do believe Sketchy will be able to widen that gap beyond the 3 seconds that he currently has to pay up at the finish line in the form of a track limits penalty. Now, according to our telemetry here, its heat gang is on softs, and they are 66%. I think he's holding out for a safety car. I don't know if one's coming. We've had 4 DNFs in the race, down to 14 drivers, started with 18. No major accidents. It does look like there was some shenanigans, in the first sector of the lap 1. That involves, I believe, Kodak and OG and Curtis, and I can't remember who else, but some of those folks have carried on. Curtis is comfortably sitting in 10th place, and if he can close that gap between him and Plube, he's going to get this, or Plube picks up another 3-second penalty, which is entirely possible, given that he's picked up 3 of them already. Oh, Gifted had a bit of a wiggle there. Tries to defend, but that was, he almost lost it. Nice recovery there, and nice way to hold on to that position. So let's see, can Meowslayer regain second place with the DRS here on the front straight? It's close, but not close enough. Spicy Noogies has just made a nice pass on Arsenault, pushing Arsenault in the Williams down to 5th place. And that's a nice recovery from Spicy, considering he had a bit of an excursion earlier on in this race. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to hold on to it for right now. He stays on the outside, and Arsenault does back out. That's some heads-up racing from Arsenault. I want to applaud you, sir. Instead of just sticking your nose in there, forcing the issue, you're going to fight for another corner. And Arsenault has a fair amount of speed getting into that turn, but not enough to take that position back. So we're going to have to watch and see what happens there. But unfortunately, I want to move away from that because Meow Slayer is 7/10 behind Gifted, and they're down on the front straight, starting lap 27 now. I don't think he's going to be close enough. Spicy Noogies has just picked up a 3-second penalty, and there is a Mercedes. There's a Mercedes who is off the track. That's the Mercedes of Ploob. He has lost 9th place and now dropped into 10th. So Curtis doesn't have to inherit that 9th place position. Curtis takes it. I mean, it was given to him as a gift, but didn't inherit it through penalties. Meanwhile, we follow along with Meow Slayer, who's leading this race for several laps after Sketchy Bull made a mistake or got collected in something. We don't know. Meow Slayer's tires are reporting at 22%. I don't know what... oh, yeah. Gifted is reporting the wrong name here, but we'll sort that out later on. Anyway. Gifted is now 2.8 seconds behind Sketchy, and he may end up losing first place, second place? No, he's holding on. Now Slayer gets real close, but just not enough to make that pass into turn 1. Spicy Noogies is sitting 6 seconds behind Meow Slayer, but he's got a 3-second penalty, and he's still fending off Arsenal. Evazi Skies is currently sitting in 6th place, but he's got a 7.9 second gap to 6th. So he won't be inheriting anything due to penalties. Gifted is now fallen behind past the 3-second mark. So he's got to giddy up and hurry if he wants to try to fight for that position back. But I mean, we got 6 laps to go. Mavericks just dropped down to 12th place. Nate in the Ferraris moved up to 11th. And if he can close that gap, Nate then will inherit 10th place and steal it from Flu, but currently he has to make up about 6 or 7 seconds. And what is happening here? Who is this? That looks like Heat Gang? I think it was Heat Gang. Oh, is Heat Gang is Heat Gang still on? Oh, Heat Gang's got a puncture. Heat Gang has a rear left puncture because he's riding out these hard tire or soft tires. It looks like the tire is going to come right off the rim. Can he drive this all the way back? He's actually ahead of Lobster, but it's just bleeding time. This is excellent here. Lobster should be able to catch up to him, no problem. And is he going to retire? Is he just trying to stay out of the way? His tires show 90%, and it shows that he has front wing damage. And now he's getting in the way of the Haas of Lobster. And he's trying to hold on to it, but he's not going to. Oh, he's going a bit wide. I mean, it's kind of comical watching this. We're on lap 30 of 33. Heat Gang is now down a lap, and he's got a puncture, and he goes around. I kind of wish the damage would get worse as you continued on. But, I mean, he does make it all the way back to the pits. So good work on doing that and not destroying anybody's race. All right, here we're going back to the leader. It's lap 30 of 33. 4 laps to go, including this one. Sketchy Bull in the lead. He will take over his championship lead so long as he didn't screw it up here in the last 3 laps. or pick up any more penalties, which I guess would be considered a screw up. Otherwise, Gifted's going to finish second, so long as he can hold off Meowslayer. Meowslayer has been sitting behind Gifted. Oh, there's a McLaren Maverick. Maverick and the Red Bull just put up the fastest lap, 1:13, I think 9 or 7, I can't remember. Wasn't paying enough attention to that. And something interesting is also going down here. Spicy Nuggies has just given up position to Evazi Skies. Tries to fight back on it, but I don't think there's any point in doing so. So he just holds off. Ooh, Evaz. I don't know if that was a desync. That was crazy. It looked like you're going to go into the wall there. But now Evaz has moved himself into 5th place. And Arsenal has given himself a nice buffer from having to lose that 4th place position. Meowslayer still behind Gifted. Still in DRS detection. Lap 31. Sketchy has built his lead to 3.5 seconds. Gifted is fighting off Meowslayer. And I don't know what's going on here. 10-second penalty for Maverick for speeding in the pit lane. That sucks. It's really interesting that Meowslayer has not been able to capitalize on this, when earlier in the race he had some excellent ability to capitalize on the DRS detection zones, take over that position. I mean, it was a game of cat and mouse. They were going back and forth for a little while there. But in the later stages of this race, it seems like they're just content to hold on to the podium. And maybe the thought is, let's hope that Sketchy makes a mistake and drops his 3-second gap, or picks up another penalty, and therefore that will automatically throw Sketchy back to 3rd place. 3rd place will, however, still be enough to regain the championship lead. I can't tell who has fastest lap. Oh yeah, Maverick does have fastest lap in the race. Maverick is in 12th place, so he will not score that 1 point. Because in Friday Night Lights we have... Ooh! Look at that. That was ballsy. From the outside, there was a little bit of contact. Now he tucks in behind Gifted. Tries to look onto the inside a little bit. They both fade to the left as they approach the turn. And once again, Meowslayer stays behind Gifted. And Gifted is now 3.7 seconds behind Sketchy. And Sketchy is 1 lap away from winning this race. All right, here we go. Final turn of the final lap. Sketchy Bull in the Red Bull takes P1 with the 3-second penalty, holds on to it. Gifted holds on to 2nd place, and Meowslayer sorry, one of the I think that was Nate. His ghost kind of smacked into the back of Sketchy there after they both crossed the finish line, because Nate was just lapped. But yeah, there you go. Evazi Skies finishes in 5th place. Spicy Noogies has to relinquish that because of his 3-second penalty. We the North finishes in 7th. Foe in 8th, with Curtis Chaos having an excellent time recovering from a very crappy start in the beginning, finishing P9, good for 2 points. And Ploob rounding out the top 10 with its filthy track limits penalties. Oh yeah, and then there's Heat Gang. Heat Gang on his 2nd set of soft tires after blowing out his rear left one from running it to 90%. He will cross the line in 14th place and score no points. And our driver of the day, according to the game, is Arsenal. I don't know, I'll review that and see if that's worthy of maintaining that way. But that was a good race. Some pretty decent battles there. Look at that, an all-American podium. Sketchy, Gifted, and Meow Slayer. Let's see. Oh, I don't have a party going. So can I start a party? Let's start a party. We're going to start a party. The party is being streamed. And I'm going to invite some people. I'm going to invite Meow Slayer. Can I invite Meow Slayer? Oh, but is Meow Slayer... Wait, Meow Slayer is Xbox. Interesting. Okay, let me see if I can get him here. View gamer card. Invite to my party. Let's go and start that way. Let me go through this real quick so that I don't scan through all these incidents so that we can look back at those later on. And I don't hear Meow Slayer coming, so I'm going to see if I can get Gifted and Sketchy in here. All right, I think Gifted. Have you joined this party, Gifted?
Yes, I have.
Yes, you have. Well, that was quite the race. Now, let me make sure. Have you included your audio, sir? Oh, Gifted just left the party. How about Sketchy? Have you included your audio, Sketchy?
And
Okay.
included.
And what about? And I see Meow Slayer has joined as well. Meow Slayer, are you there?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so let's make sure that you include your party or your audio so that it can be
Done.
included in the stream here. So that was some excellent battles. Now, I missed what happened around lap 7. Sketchy, what happened? You were in the lead. Meow Slayer was hunting you down. I think Meow Slayer had actually just lost DRS, which is why I'd moved away. Did you lose it on your own? Did you guys get together? What happened?
I lost it on my own.
Yeah.
Mediums were terrible that whole race. Once I clipped the curb at turn 8, car spun where I could. So I'm like, all right, let me just put my foot flat on the brake just to skid the car from going into the wall, and that's what I did.
Yes.
Gifted can see that I prevented myself from hitting the wall, and so did Meow.
Yes. So I mean, like I said, just before that happened, I think Meow Slayer had dropped out of DRS after holding on for 7 laps, and that's why I kind of wanted to see what was going on in the mid pack, because there was like a 5-car DRS train going in the midfield, and then I look and see Sketchy drops down to 5th place. But that was some excellent race, and you had some very, very good pace today. Any thoughts on your race there, Meow? I know you came in 3rd place just fighting Gifted there, but that was excellent battling.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was honestly hoping for like P2, but Gifted was just faster. Sketchy was really fast. He had like a great comeback to even win with like the 3 second.
Hello?
So it was pretty good considering that I got demoted to P6 last week. So yeah.
Gifted, are you all right there?
Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Stop talking.
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I thought something went wrong.
What I can't do is we didn't get any data from that race, and I don't know why. It makes me really mad. Anyway. Sorry, distractions. Okay, so Gifted, now that you can speak and talk to us, what any thoughts on your race there?
Um, Starting eighth after not a very good quality with my quickest lap being my first. Was not proud of that. Um, I was like Moses in the Red Seas, I guess, on lap one, and I had about five cars just dart in front of me. It was just like all of a sudden we're going through turn three, and I see a vases were ring. So
Excellent. Um, Sorry, I'm trying to double check on the data that we tried to get from today's race, but yeah, great race. I mean, there was some excellent racing I saw between all of you guys. And Spicy had the unfortunate time penalty and actually had a little bit of an excursion on his own in one of those DRS trains, but that was some entertaining racing today. So congrats, Sketchy. You are now back at the top of the leaderboard. Unfortunately, Sweat Randall could not make it tonight due to Hurricane, whatever the hell the name is. But
I feel bad for the guy. I've lived in Florida or like in the South before, and I've had experience hurricanes like that, so I know what it feels like for him.
yeah.
But happy to have it back, and hopefully we can keep it that way. 2 races left to go.
Yeah. After
Keep
tonight,
pushing.
we got Baku next week, and then we have the season finale at Coda the week after. So thank you, gentlemen. I think we'll wrap this up so I can get back to doing league business. But excellent racing. Congrats to the three of you for your podium finish, and thanks for everyone who was watching tonight. It's been a pleasure being the commentator for you guys tonight, and I will be back again next week for Friday Night Lights, round 11. We are making up the Baku circuit that we had to cancel due to crappy attendance. So once again, thanks for checking in. We will be back again next week. And don't forget, Wednesdays, WTF Division 2. Saturdays, NEA Division 2. So we have a race tomorrow. We also have an F2 race tomorrow. So if you want to race F2, come and join us. That's at 11 o'clock Mountain, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And we will be racing the new F2 cars, the 2024 cars. So don't miss out on that. And I've been JimCab. Have a good night. We'll see you again next time.